Hey everyone, welcome to Infinite Light. My name is Shawnee. I'm doing this based off of a question that I had. And I feel like multiple people probably have this question, so this video is for you. What's the difference between a karmic relationship, a soulmate connection relationship, and a twin flame journey? I'm going to answer that question based off of my own research. I've been on this planet for 43 years. I've experienced all three of these connections in my lifetime. So based off of my own experience and research, okay? I really need you to come into this video with an open mind. Some things I say might be contrary to the things that you believe, and that is perfectly fine. Contrast is a great thing in life. It helps us to grow as people. When we see things from others' perspectives, then that really helps us obtain different knowledge points and be like a devil's advocate in our own lives, which again helps us grow. All right, guys. So I will make sure I timestamp this, and then also at the very end of it, I will link the video I did about my specific twin flame journey. If once I get to the twin flame part, it kind of resonates with you, just to see if we've experienced some of the same things in that journey. All right. So first things first, where are we at? I'm gonna write this down. We're at 1 minute 34. Okay, so the first thing is the karmic relationship. Actually, hold on, forgive me guys. 134. Okay, all right, so the karmic relationship. So the thing that I want you to understand about the first 2 points, I'm going to talk about karmic relationship, and then I'm going to talk about soulmates. This is interconnectedness. Like, this is what they mean by we're all connected. The first two are experiences and people that we all have. Everybody has an opportunity to have a karmic in their life. Everybody has an opportunity to have a soulmate or multiple soulmates in their life, all right? So speaking of multiples, you could potentially have multiple karmic relationships throughout your life. This could be family members, this could be friends, this could be somebody like a boss or somebody that's has like some sort of control or is garnering some sort of control over your life. And it could be lover or lovers. With a karmic relationship, if you don't go through the whole purpose and goal of a relationship, you can see reflections of that same sort of behavior in different people. In other words, same shit, different pot, same shit, different person. If you're the type of person that has said at least once or twice in your life, like, why am I always attracted to these people? That's a karmic relationship for you. It's meant to, and the purpose of a karmic relationship is to provide contrast, like I was talking at the very beginning. Somebody who is supposed to give you an opportunity to resolve past life karma and present life karma through you identifying the patterns of what's not going right in your life, contrast to what you want. And it's meant to get you to acknowledge those patterns and heal from those patterns. Characteristics of a karmic relationship: very toxic, very controlling, very cyclical. So it's like it in and out, in and out, in and out, meaning it could happen same people or different people, but the same behavior undertones over and over and over again. Or it could just be like a cycle that's popping up, like you're letting the same person back into your life over and over again to do you wrong over and over again, to let you down over and over again, to control you over and over again. It's usually very suffocating. This is a seasonal relationship, meaning that a karmic is supposed to come into your life at a very specific time, and then you're supposed to be able to identify it for what it is and then let it go. They're not supposed to stay with you. You're supposed to rise above, is what I'm trying to say. The karmic relationship, you get to a point in your healing and evolution as a person that you the next time a karmic tries to come towards you, you can either let them go a lot faster than you had done before in the past, or you can be like, hell nah, man, I've seen this before. I've learned my lessons. You are not allowed in my energy, and just block the person or the situation altogether. A karmic relationship can be also too like how you perform in your job, in a work environment, how you perform in your neighborhood, in around relations of people, meaning like you always let people, not always, but you don't speak up for yourself, or you don't stand on your boundaries, something like that, in those type of relationships. My nose is, guys, forgive me, my nose is going crazy. I'm heavily tapped into this energy. Thank you, Spirit. I appreciate your time and your presence. It feels like you want to escape a karmic relationship. It feels like a prison. And that's another way that you'll know that you're in a karmic connection. The goal is to, again, find the power within yourself, leave the situation, evaluate the situation for what it is, see it for what it truly is, heal from it, transmute that energy from something negative to turn it to help you, motivate you to be a better person, a better version of yourself, to step into your purpose, to ascend beyond, and to ultimately stop that cycle. That's what they mean by stopping generational curses. You have an opportunity to be a generational curse and a disabler. For some reason, the phrase isn't coming to mind. But to stop generational curses by not allowing these people to have power over you, by disconnecting from the cycle altogether. The physical symptoms, and there are some physical symptoms that go with being in a karmic relationship, or connection, or putting yourself in a karmic situation over and over again. And that's like your nervous system gets completely messed up because you're constantly in a fight or flight sort of situation, like walking on eggshells around people, so on and so forth, making yourself small, so on and so forth. So your cortisol level is up all the time. And this could look like you being moody, having insomnia, or sleeping way too much, having stress-related chronic pain disorders like inflammation. An example would be like fibromyalgia, chronic pain, stress-related eating disorders. I mean, it goes on and on. It just really depends on how this karmic relationship is interacting with your chakra system, and where it is that you're feeling fear and feeling lack. It just, honestly, it depends. Like, are you muting yourself and not speaking your truth? Are you not sitting on your intuition? Are you now protecting your heart? Do you not feel stable or safe? Is money always a problem? And that can affect you physically in different ways depending on what the specific karmic connection is. And the body will tell you before your mind has like, aha, this is wrong. So if you're feeling sick constantly, tired constantly, moody constantly, there might be an issue with your environment. Okay, I'm not a doctor, I'm just telling you based off of experience. Also, too, karma can prevent, being in a karmic relationship can mess with your karma. You could be a person who is meant to, in this lifetime, be extremely lucky, be able to call in manifestations really quick. And you might see if you look over your lifetime, you might see little glimpses of luck where you won some money off a scratch off, or you got an inheritance, or you got this really, really nice job, but then you see it dwindle or go away very quickly. And then it's like, wow, I get all of this good stuff, but then I can't keep it. It could be because the energy of the karmic situation that you have around you, they could literally be stealing that from you. These are energy vampires. These people a lot of time are sucking quite literally the life out of you. So that's why it's so important for you to find your power within and leave the situation, and through the help of like a coach or a therapist, or leaning in on your spirituality through meditation and grounding, healing from it and ascending above and stopping the cycle altogether. Okay. It's very hard to do. A lot of people don't realize that karmic relationships for what they are. It's scary to try to separate yourself from a karmic relationship. Again, it's something that you feel like you want to escape, but you also feel like you're imprisoned. So you'll see people who don't realize that this is just supposed to be seasonal and you're supposed to overcome and leave it alone in a karmic connection or in karmic cycles their entire life. Because it's hard to separate yourself. Sometimes you even get a little bit of Stockholm syndrome and start feeling bad for the karmic situation or the karmic person. It takes a strong will. It takes a very heavy connection to spirit, to your higher self, to your inner child. And sometimes people's lives are so loud on the outside in their environment that they can't quiet even their own head enough to see something for what it is. So there's no judgment on people that are in karmic situations. There's no judgment from me to you if you feel like you're in a karmic situation. That's just the definition of that. All right. So moving on. Where are we at? Whoa, 10 minutes. Goodness, guys. I tried to make this quick. I apologize. All right. So moving on, soulmates. So soulmate situation, this is multiple as well. You can have multiple soulmates throughout your life. You can have multiple soulmates throughout your life. We're not talking about your grandma. We're not talking about a different generation of people that's like, I'm married to this one person my entire life. That's my soulmate. And if they pass away, then I want nobody else. That's a choice. That person could very well have another soulmate or soulmates that look differently than a lover, but they're choosing not to see outside of that person. So you've got to be able to make the distinction. So where a karmic highlights the dark side of our life, a soulmate highlight is meant to be that contrast, the other side of the coin, right? Everything is yin and yang in the universe. You can't have evil without good. Do you see what I'm saying? So here's the good thing that the universe or that God gives you in multiple times throughout your life. It could be a family member. It could be a friend. It could be a lover. Think of the word kindred spirit. Kin, K-I-N, at the very beginning of that word, the root of that word is like the kin, somebody that you feel a family to, somebody you feel akin to, whether they are a family member or not. This is somebody, the purpose of a soulmate relationship is somebody in your life that is meant to be placed there to help you find joy, to help you find the light within, to help you transmute the karma of your life into the dharma, the better side of it. Find peace, find purpose, and find love. It's easy for you to get caught up in a karmic situation if you think that that's the way that life is supposed to be. If the universe didn't give some people little glimpses or big, even huge signs of this is what love is, this is what your life could be, and it could be so much better than this, then it would be hard for a lot of people to want to leave the only thing they know, which might be a karmic situation. So again, contrast in a good way. This is why contrast is good in our life. All right, so the characteristics. Somebody that's like you, or somebody that sees you, somebody that understands you, somebody that matches your energy, somebody that's calming, not perfect. This is not meant to be a perfect. You might have a rift with this person. You might have an argument with this person. You might not see eye to eye at times or something like that. But the mutuality here is that there's an undertone of respect and an undertone of love. So there's a coming together. This is your friend that you've had for 30 years or something like that. This is your favorite cousin on your mom's side, and you cannot wait to sit next to him or her at every Thanksgiving because it's like y'all get each other, and not in a toxic way. It's like not your drinking buddy. You don't come together with your soulmate to explore toxic things. That's the karmic. You come to this person because they just uplift you, and you to them as well. The physical symptoms of this is that you feel light around this person. You feel relaxed around this person. You feel happy around this person. You feel excitement around this person. Nervous is no. You're not going to get the tingling in the butterflies in your belly around this person. The butterflies is actually your nervous system going out of whack whenever you're around somebody that doesn't settle you. This is a calming energy, a soulmate is, okay? You might get nerve if this was like a lover situation and the first few times that you saw this person, like, oh my God, he's so cute. Oh my goodness, she's so fine, or something like that. And you're talking to me type thing. That's different at the beginning, but later on, it's supposed to be just very calming and natural. That's what a soulmate is. The goal here is to elevate you through the practice of love and friendship. It's to give you an idea of something that you want. Soulmates can also be seasonal. You can go through, like I said at the very beginning, you can go through life, you can meet your soulmate, you can get married to your soulmate, and then a tragedy strikes, and then you lose your soulmate. Maybe they get their wings and they go to heaven, right? Type thing. You can still find another kindred spirit. It could be a new best friend. It could be, do you see what I'm saying? Another lover. Spirit is always trying to hand you these soulmates because they want you to elevate. They want you to see and be in a vibration of love. Pets can be soul companions. There are some people out there that is like, oh, my cat is my soulmate. That's your soul companion. A lot of people like to, I'm just distincting the two because the title soulmate, I like to use that as from one human to another human. You can definitely have a soul tie with an animal for sure. They're meant to be here as somebody to elevate you and heal you, or as a thing to elevate you and heal you as well. But the title I like to use for that is soul companion. All right, moving on. Let's go. Where are we at? 16. All right, guys, twin flame. So everybody gets an opportunity to meet multiple karmics throughout their life. Everybody interact with multiple karmics. Everybody gets opportunities or an opportunity to meet multiple soulmates throughout their life. What not everybody gets, this is completely rare. This is why I'm making this video super, super rare, is a twin flame. And there's only one of those. You do not get multiple twin flames. It don't work like that. We don't have triplets. We don't have quintuplets. None of that stuff. It's a one and a one. All right. So a twin flame, according to my experience and according to my personal experience and according to my research, it's one soul who has been split into, not split. One soul, it's two people sharing the same soul. So there's always a give and take of energy. It's not split. I don't get 50% of my twin soul, and he doesn't get 50% of my soul. We share quite literally the same soul. It's very, it's very much a tug of war until you learn how to not tug on or have a war between the soul. That's the ultimate goal. That's what people say, twin flame union. That's the ultimate goal of this, is to find peace so that you're no longer tugging on the soul's energy. All right. So this is a twin flame journey is not something that most people would ask for, especially if they knew what it actually felt like. The people that get assigned to be in a twin flame journey in this particular lifetime are the people that you must wake up this lifetime. You must disconnect from the 3D this lifetime. There's like a purpose for you, for your twin. And so in order to make sure that you wake up in this lifetime and step into whatever the purpose is that the divine has in play for you, you've got to have you have to have a relationship like a twin flame. You've got to be awakened. All right, so the purpose of a twin flame connection journey is to shock the system into waking up, activating the remembering, activating. I remember who I am. I remember my power, starting to access like Akashic records, if you believe in something like that, and really connecting to the divine, connecting to who you are, finding out who you are. It is an uncomfortable Kundalini activation for the divine feminine, who starts out the activation, and then later on the divine masculine. It's just a big spiritual thing, huge spiritual thing. Something that cannot be ignored. The characteristics of a twin flame journey is a super strong magnetic pull. I don't understand the people that say that they can have a twin flame that is like their brother or their child. That's more of like a soulmate sort of thing, or a soul companion sort of thing. This is different. This is different because it's very heavy sexual. The sexual energy in here is what does a lot of the activating, is does a lot of the magnetic pull, because there's like something really big about the eye contact, the seeing into the other person through their eyes and seeing into their soul. That's what they call soul recognition. And once that happened, baby, the shit starts to quite literally hit the fan. Where you once were super magnetized towards this person, when your soul almost immediately recognizes itself in the other person, it gets shocked. You think of like a cat walking past a mirror and then seeing its reflection for the first time. Wow, yeah, so it's literally like that. That was so corny. But anyways, and things become kind of toxic. You get this sort of runner chase, not sort of. Like really, you get a runner chaser dynamic. Sometimes one twin will quite literally move to the other side of the country you live in or the other side of the world to try to separate themselves, either consciously or subconsciously. A lot of time you don't even really know what's going on. But then it's also, what's very toxic about this is there's like an avoidant and then there's an anxious attachment sort of thing between the masculine and the feminine. This doesn't have to be a male and a female. It could be a female, a male and male, but one of them gets a masculine energy and the other one gets a feminine energy. And so somebody's always trying to leave and somebody's always trying to come back together. It's like this cycle of leave, come together, leave, come together, leave, come together. And then when you come together, it's like magic pulling you together, but then something's trying to pull you apart. And the reason why you're constantly getting pulled apart is it's like almost like a test. Every time you come together, it's like, how much work have you done on your soul? How much work with our soul? How much work have you done with our soul? You haven't done enough? Separate again. And in that separation, each person is supposed to find themselves, find their purpose, so on and so forth. It can make a sane person insane. Therapy isn't going to necessarily help with this. Coaching can help with this. Yeah, but like it's hard. It's not a normal thing. People misunderstand the concept a lot. It's not something that's taught in psychology school. That's not what it is. You're not learning about this in medical school. So if you go to a psychiatrist or a psychologist, they're just going to be like, oh, this is an obsession. You've got anxious attachment. This person is an avoidant. Let's handle it like that. But it's deeper than that. It's otherworldly. It's hard to understand. It feels so karmic is what it feels like. And that's why a lot of people think that it's a karmic thing when really it's a twin thing. Or some people think it's a twin thing when really it's a karmic thing. It activates all 6 of your senses. It really does. And then you feel that with the person. Like it's I can't explain it unless you feel it. If you're not relating to what I'm saying, then you're not on a twin flame journey. If you've done the elevation work, if you've looked back at your life, the plane of your life, the cycles of your life, the patterns of your life, and you're able to say, that was a soulmate, that was an extra in my life, not really a major player in my life. That was a karmic connection. That was a karmic connection. And you're able to identify things, at least surfacely, for what they are. And then you've started diving into them, transmuting, healing from them. And then you still have this one person over here. That might be a twin. And it very heavy on the might. Okay. It's just this energy. You can feel, when I say it activates all 6 senses, you can feel this person around you. You can feel when they're sick. You can feel when they're happy. You can feel when they're sad. And I've akin this before to like having like a child, especially if you're sitting in the divine feminine's energy. You can feel your divine masculine the way like a mom would be like, oh, there's something wrong with my child, even if their child isn't around them, because they've got that sort of connection. It's the same sort of thing. Like you can tell the difference between a whine and a cry. That means that your child's in pain. A lot of people can understand what I'm saying. There are people that use the term twin soul a lot, and again, I want to make the distinction, just like soul companion versus soulmate. That's a twin soul is basically a soulmate. That's not the same as a twin flame. There's no escaping your twin. Ultimately, what's supposed to happen is that through the divine feminine waking up to her or his, the divine feminine's purpose in life and healing, because we share the same soul, the divine feminine wakes up first, and then he or she does healing, and then through her healing and ascension into, or his or her healing and ascension to their purpose, they sort of like elevate their twin, their divine masculine, to do the same thing. And then eventually you're supposed to be able to come together. And then the soul says, oh, you've done enough work. Oh, you've done enough work. Now y'all can be bound together. All right. However, it is 2025. It's the age of Aquarius. People don't want old bullshit anymore. The awakening that a lot of people are going through, that a lot of divine feminine are going through, is I don't want to elevate nobody else. I've got my own kids. I'm trying to take care of myself. I don't want to try to take care of other people. So a lot of divine feminine are now in this mind frame, or this state of mind that's like, I'm just going to treat my twin like it's a karmic, and I'm going to work on me and my life. A lot of divine feminine are choosing to say, I've made this list of expectations. I know for a fact my twin doesn't, really go have these sort of this sort of goals in life, this mission in life. We don't see eye to eye on these things, or at least we didn't last I saw them. I'm not going to resurface it. I'm going to find a soulmate that's out there that's different from my divine masculine, and I'm going to pursue or allow a new soulmate to pursue me. Meaning that they're like, even if this twin comes back, I don't even care. I'm separating them from my life. If you hear a divine feminine say that, cool, 100%. Bravo. Kudos to you. That's awesome. That means that you not only are you ascending, but you're standing in your power and you're standing in your boundaries. But that doesn't mean that they don't feel that twin anymore. They still feel the connection. They're just not yearning to reconnect with that person anymore. They feel it. It's almost like having a child, and I keep talking about this probably because I'm a mother, but this has never happened to me, where you've got a child who maybe they've got some sort of addiction problem. It could be gambling, it could be drugs, it could be whatever. And they get in trouble, and then you help them, and they get in trouble, and then you help them, and they get in trouble, and then you help them. And you get to a point where it's like, I'm always going to love you, but I can no longer enable you. I can no longer allow you to come into the life that I've built and disrupt it again. It's kind of like that. All right, guys. So I'm going to link, I hope this helped set the story straight for yourself. I'm going to link my story at the very end of this. Thank you for your time. Let me know if you got any questions. Put it down below. If anything, just if you liked this, I hope to be teaching on different sort of spiritual concepts in the future. So if you haven't already subscribed, don't forget to. I do personal readings. That information is down below. Love you guys. Bye.